Okay, welcome to the series Reading Great Books of Our Time. My name is Glen Ferril. There are many books written on the subject of health, but I've found that one of the most important is the book Ministry of Healing by Helen G. White. This book has changed the lives of many people. It is a fully Bible-based book. Its foundation is Jesus. And it speaks about many of the ills of our time, insofar as it concerns health. And it also looks at ways that we can improve our health. For example, obeying the 8 laws of health. And so, as I begin this series, Reading Great Books of Our Time, I want to begin with the Ministry of Healing. I'm starting from page 28. By the way, this book is available from me, Glen Ferril, or Glen the Bookman, at 838-7627. Or you may send me an email at glenferril@yahoo.com or message me on Facebook or WhatsApp. I begin. Personal ministry. Christ neglected no opportunity of proclaiming the gospel of salvation. Listen to his wonderful words to that one woman of Samaria. He was sitting by Jacob's well. As the woman came to draw water, to her surprise, he asked a favor of her. "Give me to drink," he said. He wanted a cool draught, and he wished also to open the way whereby he might give to her the water of life. "How is it," said the woman, "that thou, being a Jew, askest drink of me, which am a woman of Samaria? For the Jews have no dealings with the Samaritans." Jesus answered, "If thou knewest the gift of God, and who it is that saith to thee, Give me to drink, thou wouldest have asked of him, and he would have given thee living water. Whosoever drinketh of this water shall thirst again, but whosoever drinketh of the water that I shall give him shall never thirst. But the water that I shall give him shall be in him a well of water, springing up into everlasting life." This is one of the things I like about the ministry of healing. It is a perfectly Bible-based book. As you can see, the scriptures are quoted throughout the book. So this book not only gives you valuable health information for the physical health, but it also enhances our knowledge of the Bible. How much interest Christ manifested in this one woman. How earnest and eloquent were his words. When the woman heard them, she left her water pot and went into the city, saying to her friends, "Come, see a man, which told me all things that ever I did. Is not this the Christ?" We read that many of the Samaritans of that city believed on him. Verses 29 and 39 of John chapter 4. And who can estimate the influence which these words have exerted for the saving of souls in the years that passed since then. Wherever hearts are open to receive the truth, Christ is ready to instruct them. He reveals to them the Father and the service acceptable to him who reads the heart. For such, he uses no parables. To them, as to the woman at the well, he says, I that speak unto thee am he. From this, we can see that based on how one responds to Jesus, that is how he will communicate with the person. And he reveals truth just as much as we are interested and willing to accept truth. For we can see from this reading that Christ spoke plainly with the Samaritan woman. He said to her, I am the Messiah. I that speak unto thee am he. To his countrymen, who were hard-hearted, many of them, he did not speak so plainly. Not because he was hiding the truth, but because of the state that they were in. They were not so receptive to the truth as this woman of Samaria, belonging to a group that was an outcast, belonging to an outcast group, the Samaritans, for the Jews had no dealings with them. Let us move on to chapter 2, Days of Ministry. By the way, when this video is posted, you may comment on it and give your own input. I want us to have a discussion of this very important book that will not only enlighten each other, but will enlighten many others. So, Days of Ministry, chapter 2. In the fisherman's home at Capernaum, the mother of Peter's wife is lying sick of a great fever, and they tell him of her. Jesus touched her hand, and the fever left her. And she arose and ministered to the Savior and his disciples. Luke 4, verse 38, Mark 1, verse 30, and Matthew 8, verse 15. So as we can see, this book is Bible-backed. You will be getting scriptures focusing on the ministry of Jesus. Who would not want Jesus to touch their hands? Now that we know how wonderful a Savior he is, we all want him to touch our hands. Rapidly, the tidings spread. The miracle had been wrought upon the Sabbath, and for fear of the rabbis, the people dared not come for healing until the sun was set. Then, from the homes, the shops, the marketplaces, the inhabitants of the city pressed toward the humble dwelling that sheltered Jesus. The sick were brought upon litters. They came leaning upon staffs, or supported by friends. They tottered feebly into the Savior's presence. So, when the people heard that the great healer, the wonderful Savior, the one who took on him our afflictions, were in the house, was in the house, they came. They did not come during the Sabbath hours because they feared the scribes and Pharisees. But they waited for the Sabbath to end, and then they came. No one who came to Jesus was turned away without receiving the blessing, the healing that he came in need of. When we go into the presence of Jesus, let us be receptive and expect to receive something from him because he is our loving Savior. He is interested in our health. He wants us to be in good health. Hour after hour they came and went, for none could know whether tomorrow would find the healer still among them. Never before had Capernaum witnessed a day like this. The air was filled with the voice of triumph and the shouts of deliverance. Not until the last sufferer had been relieved did Jesus cease his work. It was far into the night when the multitude departed and silence settled down upon the home of Simon. The long, exciting day was past, and Jesus sought rest. But while the city was wrapped in slumber, the Savior, rising up a great while before day, went out and departed into a solitary place, and there prayed. Mark 1, verse 35. What an example for us. Jesus rising up early in the morning, in the cool of the morning, when there was no one to distract him. And there he poured out his heart to his Father in prayer. This is a worthy example, a worthwhile example for us. Let us also practice to rise early in the morning and to begin our day with prayer. Someone has said, where there is much prayer, there is much power. As we read, we will understand. We will understand the importance and the need for prayer and the worthwhile example that Jesus set for us. We will break at this point and we will pick it up another time. God bless you, friends. Remember, the ministry of healing is available from me, Glen Ferril, at yahoo.com, or call me at 838-7627. Thank you. Remember, beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayst prosper and be in health, even as thy soul prospereth. 3 John 2.